Hello y'all, I am back again for another video, and this video is going to be about the narcissist or the sociopath's last time. And when I say last time, it's the last or final time that they do a particular thing that they most likely have done before, or the last time that they ever do this bad behavior. It will come to them all, including empaths. And I'm going to explain to you why. The reason it has to be a last time is because we all will die in the physical sense. So once we leave this earth, in the physical realm, that is the last time that we can do anything bad or good. However, in this particular case, this was this sociopath's last time. I seriously doubt if this was his first time doing this particular thing. He did it with too much cockiness. He was riddled and filled with anger before he did this. However, this was his last time. And no, another narcissist did not stop him. So when you're listening to YouTube channels and they're misleading you to think that someone that's empathic or an actual empath will not kill you, tune out of that channel. The problem is, and the issue is, when you are killed by an empath, you won't see it coming. And I'm going to go over and I'm going to let you hear what this gentleman that's probably a sociopath, which makes him an automatic narcissist, it was his last time. So listen in, y'all. So this video is going to be about Carlisha Hood. She's a woman with a 14-year-old son that lives in Chicago, the south side of Chicago. Her and her son were going to get something to eat at the hot dog burger place or wherever, and it was just a casual evening. That's all she was there for. I am also going to do some videos on when an empath kills. I am going to explain to you why I have assessed Carlisha Hood to be an empath. I have watched about over 30 videos and I've assessed her as an empath. Now, as I told y'all before in other videos, I tested out to be an empath. And that ain't always good, y'all. It ain't nothing to brag about. Okay, well, I'm an empath, they're a narcissist. You're both extreme. Narcissists are emotional. They got a lot of the wrong emotions. Empaths, we got the right emotions, but it can go wrong. I choose not to have a gun. However, I don't live in Chicago on the south side, so I can completely understand with Carlisha Hood living on the south side of Chicago with those crime statistics on why she is armed. She was legally licensed to have her weapon. She was in the hot dog place, and I'm just going to let you hear what she was dealing with. And as a disclaimer, I do videos about white, black, other races, male, female. I don't care about the race and gender. This ain't no attack on the black man. This ain't no attack on the white man. It's just in this particular case, this is what happened. So it's going to be really interesting because when I start my episodes on when an empath kills, it's just like, okay, narcissists and sociopaths, they can feel each other energy. A psychopath can be in the coffee shop. He'll know another psychopath. She will know another psychopath. It's the same thing with empaths. So, as I was watching the videos, watching her body language, eye contact, and all of that, I said, oh, that's an empath. And because of that, her and her son, he's one too, because he actually stopped his mother from killing some other people that was instigating that mess in that hot dog or burger shop. So they're highly empathic. I would consider empaths. So I'm going to explain to you when an empath kills. The son is not on display where I can assess him. And yes, I can assess someone now because I have been doing this channel for quite a while. As I'm doing videos, I'm learning about narcissism and I steadily study behind the scenes, y'all. And as I said in another video, I'm going to get my life coach certification at some point. So I'll have something on me to validate more of what I have to teach and offer, okay? So, but anyway, as a YouTuber that discusses and teaches on this subject, I have been on here over a year now. So I have some credibility and I feel comfortable and confident in myself to assess this. So here we go. So okay, let me find this video because I want you to hear this gentleman in this particular coffee shop. It was pretty brutal. It was, I don't even know what they was arguing about. Carlicia, in her lawsuit video about this, she ended up being jailed, her and her son. They was charging her for murder until they saw this video. So this man in this hot dog shop, he's an angry sociopath. I will explain to you when an empath kills on how I know he has antisocial personality disorder. I viewed his behavior, looked at him, the area of town he's in. I don't think he was born a psychopath, but I do think due to environmental issues, maybe some upbringing, just being in Chicago on the South Side, he got antisocial personality disorder, especially with his behavior. So he hit this woman. And as an empath, I could feel that blow. When I first saw the video on, I think when I first seen it, it was on Carlos King YouTube channel. And when I first saw him ball his fist up and hit this woman, he hit her with so much power. I was wondering why her nose wasn't broke or her teeth wasn't knocked out. I hadn't heard nobody say on a video, you know, she went to the hospital, she got a nose broke or whatever. But the reason that was is because those hard blows that he placed upon her by hitting her so viciously, he hit her in her head. 3 to 4 hard blows in her head. Now, the benefit of that was she didn't get her nose broke or her teeth knocked out. However, I don't know if y'all have ever had a head injury, but it can mess you up for a while. I don't know if she ended up having a mild concussion later. I don't know, but I know she was messed up. And I know that must have been hurtful. She may have symptoms like ongoing headaches, nerve reactions. I mean, it's a lot. Head blows ain't good. He could have killed her. Hitting her that hard in her head 3 times, he could have easily murdered this woman. And I'm for sure he has antisocial personality disorder. In my opinion, I have experience with these kind of people. I have been in close dealings and harmed and violated myself by people with this personality disorder. And as I said, I don't think he was born a psychopath. I think antisocial personality disorder is still under psychopathy, but I think it's type A. I think you got type A and you got type B. So this would be a situation where it's environmental. This is a Chicago man, y'all. This is a Chicago abuser. Okay? And she ain't the first woman he's hit. She ain't the first woman that he's abused. She just ain't. He was too cocky. He's used to doing it. But in this case, this was his last time, y'all. It's the last time. He's dead. And I'm not saying that to make light of it. I wish the same thing Carlicia does. I can read her body language. She wish it hadn't happened. As empaths, even if we kill you, we wish we didn't do it. We wish it could have went a different kind of way. We're in no way happy that we didn't killed you. We wish that you hadn't punched us in our head viciously 3 times and made us feel like we had to defend ourselves or pissed us off enough where we just put you down. As quick as you can hit an empath in the head that viciously 3 times, that's as quick as an empath can get up and go get their gun and blow you off the face of the earth. They're all quick reactions, right? That's why I keep saying being an empath ain't always nothing to brag about. We got many of them in prisons. Don't listen to these YouTubers when they be like, the narcissist is always going to outpower you and overconquer you. Yeah, it does. That's why it's better to avoid them. And I think that Carlicia Hood wasn't avoiding narcissists. She was just with her empathic son. However, it just happened. She didn't plan for this. She just thought she was going to get a hot dog and some french fries or whatever she ordered, a burger. I don't know what she ordered. I don't even know if she ever got her food. I don't know if that's what this guy that has antisocial personality disorder was arguing with her about. I don't know. I know he just went off and it was his last time. So I wish it hadn't happened this way, but it did. So, okay, hold on. I want you to hear this one time. And this is from, this is fair use, y'all. So I'm going to play something from, I was just looking at, okay, hold on, y'all. Because this is just interesting. And I want you to hear the viciousness of it. And I have some experience in this area, y'all. In another video, I brought up an incident of how someone with antisocial personality disorder blacked my eye viciously years ago. I mean, so I have empathy for how this happened. I have experience with the empathic. They just sick of you. And y'all, when empaths fight back, all that jail stuff, and we might get arrested for murder or an assault, we think about that later in the cell. So that's why I say it ain't necessarily, I'm not going to paint a pretty picture that just because you're an empath, you some kind of innocent, flower or some kind of innocent gentleman, and you're just incapable. Remember, you're very emotional. However, one of the things I can say about empaths is we will never, I don't care how much we study, I don't care how much we know about narcissism and psychopathy and sociopathy, we will never understand why a sociopath just picks us out and tries to make our day, evening, or life a living hell when we ain't doing nothing to them. And this is why they get killed and put down. So, this gentleman's energy is not in agreement with any empath. This brings anxiety to an empath. This woman showed no body language of any viciousness towards this gentleman. She didn't show any aggression. She didn't even raise her voice very loud. I think as an empath, she just was asserting how she felt. And that's something she'll regret too. Because the difference between an empath and a sociopath, an empath is going to regret it. Like, God, I wish I hadn't said nothing. I mean, that way maybe he wouldn't have killed me and I wouldn't have had to kill him. But as she grieves over this life-changing event, as she calls it, this gentleman's anger, this sociopath right here, he just wanted an excuse to hit her. He might was going to hit her anyway. Because he told her, if she say one more thing, he'll punch her. But that's just the excuse. I mean, he's saying that to her in the middle of while she's talking, right? So she might have like 2 more words to get out. So that's that cockiness. That's the part about the psychopaths that brings that fury in an empath. Just like the situation with my relative that passed away. How this other relative of hers was just threatening me, telling me I better get out of town as soon as possible or something is going to happen to me. As an empath, I just don't get that sickness. How you can just threaten somebody that's just coming to a funeral. That's all they're doing. They're asking you questions about the flights, the airline that's in your city and things like that. And that's one of the empath's triggers. We just don't get the brutality that they come at us with when we're not violent. And with this particular threat that I got, I went over it in other videos. This was from Texas. Not only was this psychopath threatening me, so was the lady he was with. When I got back in town on the West Coast, she was threatening me. And the good thing is, I am empathic. I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to be hurt. So I didn't react to the threat. But see, the problem with empaths is this. This psychopath had a history. The male psychopath, he had a history of abusing women. He's laid his hands on women. He's assaulted the relative that passed away. Okay, so he has a history, and she's female. So he has this history, and where I'm at in life, it's a good thing that he didn't put his hands on me. Or she didn't put her hands on me, the woman he's with, because that's where the empathic fury comes in. And next thing you know, you done put a bunch of people down. Now we got some more caskets rolling out because we don't get it. We don't understand. Like, we're such nice people. We're just, hi, how you doing? Empaths are sweethearts. And we will never, I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart. I don't care how many videos I do. I don't care how many sociopaths or psychopaths I've interacted with and even been harmed by in my life. I will never fully understand when I'm in the position and I'm face to face with this psychopath. I will never understand their ability to have the level of aggression that they have towards empathic people that speak nice and calm, that are sweet to them. I'll never get it. And that's where you put it down and you in some handcuffs. And now they dead. Now they injured. Or they injure you. Now you pressing some charges. It just goes all wrong. And I've been tested this past year, y'all. I had another incident with another relative where this other lady was pissed off at the other relative and was retaliating against me because I'm the family member of that relative and I had nothing to do with that. But she retaliated. She was a psychopath, full-blown psychopath, full-blown narcissist. But I stood in that doorway and all I could say was, that's a shame. Now, fortunately, none of these psychopaths took the physical move. These psychopaths were far away from me. With that particular other psychopath in Texas, I was kind enough to make a call to his mom and explain to her what he was doing and his behaviors so that she could intervene and talk to him. Because I believe that she would do an intervention and talk to him. Because like I told her, I don't want nobody hurt. I don't want your son hurt. I don't want to be hurt. But I'm going to just let you hear this. And this was this psychopath's last time. This is Carlisha Hood in Chicago. And this is the aggression. And this is the clip from the Trey song or the Trey King show. So I don't want to play his music and get it like a copyright strike or anything. I've never received a copyright strike. I have received copyright claims, but not strikes. Strikes get your channel deleted. So hold on. Hold on. You're going to hear the viciousness. This is how, this is more than a narcissist, y'all. This is how sociopaths, remember, they want dominance. They don't have empathy. They don't care how you feel when they're talking to you. And this sociopath had a sense of entitlement that got him murdered too. He thinks he's entitled. He's talking to this woman like he's her master. So he did the verbal attack first, and then he wants to show that he's her master more by viciously. I mean, the blow that he took his fist and hit this woman in the head, that blow, I could feel that blow. And as an empath, just like I was saying with the incident with the gentleman in Texas that I've known since high school, those type of blows make you put them down. And the reason that happens is because as empaths, we have morals. We have self-respect. We help people. We're with our family. We just hanging out with our kids and little cousins, and we're loving our neighbors. We're at the school. We're the person that's liked on the job. And all we want to be is left alone. We do enough good in our daily life. We just want to attend the funeral. That's it. We don't want to be fighting with nobody. Definitely not no psychopath. And the psychopath, they just sick. And this one was a sociopath on this video. So I'm going to let you hear it. Just tune in. Like I said, I don't.
Give me go. Hey,
how he talking. Sociopaths, this is a particular type of sociopath. This is a Chicago sociopath. This is this Midwest slash Southern sociopath. So there's a certain way that they talk. I'm going to imitate it. He said, get your food, get your food, get your food. You know, it's a certain talk. And I'm not going to lie. Empaths, the way they be talking to you, and that's the difference. See, by him being a sociopath, that's how I know he's not a psychopath, because of the way he's putting the threat down. Now, the psychopath that's in Texas, this big frog-eyed fool that was passively aggressively threatening me on the phone, it was passive aggressive. If you won't get out of town, soon as you get to Texas, something gonna happen to you. And you know, he kind of had the more humble type voice. It wasn't as aggressive as this. So that's the difference. So this is a sociopath, but that big frog-eyed, big old tall alien looking some down in Texas that's related to my relative that passed, that's a psychopath. And that's somebody you machine gun down. For real, empath, we don't want to be bothered with that. But my situation ended up good because I just stayed calm. See, what she's going to regret in this case, Carlisha Hood, even though they dropped the charges, she's going to regret arguing with them. Because by her arguing with him, and her son ended up having to put him down or unalive him in self-defense, that's going to play on her. Like she's going to go back, well, maybe I shouldn't have argued with him. You know, just like the psychopath in Texas, if I would have argued with him and something happened and I would have killed him or he would have killed me, well, just say I would have killed him, because if he kills me, I'm not around to regret it, right? So you just kind of regret that. But to be honest, in this case with Carlisha Hood, no matter what, he was going to do it. I mean, he had already had his fist balled up beside him. So... okay, I'm going to let you hear it again, how you saying, get your food. Get your food! Who? Give me up! Hey. Get your food! Get your food! If you say one more thing, I'm not oh my God, I said one more thing, I'm not trying. You hear that? If you say one more thing, I'm going to knock you out, is what he's saying. You hear that? But... and maybe he rest in peace. I wish he hadn't done it. I wish he wasn't a sociopath. I wish he had not turned out to be this type of man. But she put him down. He dead. Do you see my whole point? The narcissist, because all sociopaths are narcissists. This is his last time, y'all, doing this crap to somebody. This ain't the first woman he's laid his hands on. This ain't the first woman he done screamed and hollered at. And how I know it ain't the first one? He doing it all out in the public in the restaurant now. So this is something that he's been doing probably since he's been a young boy or a teenager. And then he had the nerves to mention he put it on his grandmother or something like. And this is the problem with this old school enabling. I don't know what type of grandmother she was, but I bet you he wasn't hitting on her like that. But then you got these type of grandmothers in some cases, well, long as you don't hit me, it's fine. But then she could know he doing it to other women and okay with it. Or this might have been the grandmother that before she died warned his ass. You know, Jeremy, you need to stop doing that. Watch how you treat women before you get hurt one day. She could have been that type of grandmother. But would he want somebody treating his grandmother like this? You see how sick this is? So it's a sad situation because I think he's only 32 years old. But with this type of behavior, he was gonna check out of here anyway, y'all. And then these type of sociopaths, they ain't messing with no man. That's what he's not doing, is messing with men. Get your food! If you say one more thing, I'm not. Oh my God, I said
2v2. What's going on?
Hear how he punched her? You hear that? I mean, and he did it with so much power, y'all. When he hit her, it just went through my soul. You know, I've been hit. Had I mean, I was viciously hit. This big old tall ninja blacked my eye. It was many, many years ago. But that's why I'm the fighter I am right now today. That's why I can't, as an empath, I can't take no more of it. Somebody gonna get put down. I don't have a gun. I just stay away from guns. But I would lay him out. Well, he took a lot of aggression. You know, this is kind of like a sucker punch too. But I don't care if I would have crawled up off the ground and hit his old butt with some chairs or some pictures off the wall. I mean, it's sad, but you know, listen to this again so you can just get a glimpse of this, of why I say he's a sociopath too. Stop calling these type of dudes. I don't care if they black, white, Asian, Spanish, Hawaiian, European, African. I don't care what they are. Don't call these type of dudes narcissists. These are sociopaths. I'm sorry. These are sociopaths. This man has a personality disorder. He has antisocial personality disorder, and his disorder was so out of hand. He could be diagnosed if he's went in the jail system, but a lot of times with these type of men in Chicago, St. Louis, Memphis, and places like that, a lot of times these type of dudes are never diagnosed. And his disorder, his personality disorder. So you got to look at it from this point of view. If you want to have any sympathy for him, he don't even see he getting ready to get killed. See, that's the difference between somebody like him and an empath. I know that if I treat people this way, somebody could kill me. But this dude is so personality disordered with his sociopathy, and he's so into this disorder, this personality disorder. He has so much entitlement. He didn't lost sight that he's in the hot dog shop. God, dog, you can't act right in the hot dog shop. How many people go out to eat and behave like this nut? So just listen to it again. Because he making me want to fight him, and she done already killed him. If this makes sense, like, my goodness. Why do you think he had a right to beat this woman, and this somebody's mama? And then he got the nerves to mention his grandmama. And it sounds like, in this case, maybe his grandmother's already deceased. Because, you know, normally when somebody say, I put it on my grandmama or my mama or daddy or whatever, normally those relatives are deceased. But here, let's listen to this again. Look at his accent. He said, "Now I know I got an accent, so I can't talk, but get your food, get your food. Get in the car, get in the car." He said something about the car. Crazy. Get your food. And see, that's what he not going to be eating no more, is some food. Do you see what I'm saying?
Hey, get your food. Get your food. If you say one more thing, I'm not. Oh my God, I said one more thing when I drop.
And see, that's the difference between a sociopath and an empath. You see how he threatened her? I'm going to knock you out. And that's what those psychopaths and sociopaths, they always doing. They threatening you. But you actually going to be the one to put it down. Like the psychopath in Texas that was threatening me when his woman threatened me. I'm like, ma'am, I was just in Texas. We could have handled this in Texas. Why are you waiting till I get back to the West Coast to talk about you want to bash me in my head? Because she know I would have whooped her motherfucking ass. That's why she waited till I got back to the West Coast to talk all that bullshit. They know, they not stupid. And that's another thing. A psychopath sometimes is a little more savvy and smarter. they really intimidated, especially if you are a fighter. But at the same time, they're going to do retaliation tactics like keep you away from your relatives, take custody of the kids. They'll do evil stuff like that because they're inherently wicked. That's why they're threatening you in the first place. And that's the part that empaths just can't understand. So, and I want you to get this too. This is how he went to his grave. So this is the last behavior that he was displaying for the Lord before he dies.
Get your food. Get your food. If you say one more thing, I'm knock you out. Oh my grandma, say one more thing when I knock you out. Say one more thing when I knock you out. Yo, you 2v2. What's going on? Play back again.
So that's Trey King. So fair use, y'all, because I got his voice in there. But, and she said, you talking about what? Considering the threats that this sociopath was making, you didn't hear her really get loud. She's just like asking him, you talking about what? Like, as an empath, she's trying to figure out why is he taking it this far? Like, why am I the one you want to attack today? Why? Why me? I mean, listen to her. I mean, you're going to constantly hear him overpowering her. You barely can hear her.
Get your food. Who? Give it up. Get your food. Get your food. If you say one more thing, I'm knock you out. Oh my grandma, say one more thing when I knock you out. Say one more thing when I knock you out. Yo, you 2v2. What's going on?
Yeah, and like he said, he put it on his grandmama. If she say one more thing, he'll knock her out. And he won't be here. Unfortunately, he's not here anymore. But fortunately, he's not here anymore, so he can't hurt nobody else. A sociopath, they don't really have a big urge to live, y'all. They don't really like how empaths, we just require simple living and long lifespans. If the Lord blesses us with that, he doesn't think like that, and he wasn't requiring that. Somebody that goes out to the hot dog shop and talks to any woman or man in the vicious way that he was talking and is willing to viciously take his fist and hit this woman 3 to 4 times in her head, he does not want to live. This is a man that is suicidal. This man, now, when I call him a sociopath, I never said he wasn't intelligent. This is not a dummy. When I hear this man, I don't hear illiterate. I hear that he's a sociopath and he's trying to assert his power and control. He's entitled. He has a history of this. He's cocky and he's used to this. And this is the narcissist's last time. That's basically how it went down. It was his last time. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Don't you fret or worry about what you think a narcissist or a sociopath or even a psychopath is doing or not doing, because their day will come. They will have their last time. And in this case, may this man rest in some form of peace, because obviously he was not at peace on this earth. But this was the sociopath's last time. And in this case, he was put down by an empath. And I will do my videos to explain when an empath kills and how I know that that's what her and her son are. Those are empaths that took this sociopath out. Gosh, I wish it didn't have to end like this. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for more. I appreciate y'all for listening. Please leave a comment, and I love y'all so much. Thank you.